they had like a massive breakdown of, look, we've made the crystal fox as a practical asset, and they were showing that they can move the fox's mouth, and then it cuts to a full CG shot of 20 foxes running, and you're like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. Oh shit, we actually here's the questions. Someone asked, can you actually explain what you do? I think it's a very
What
broad
I
question.
do specifically,
Yeah, what you do.
at work, I guess I'm a. Well, I don't know if you can hear my baby, but
A little bit.
I'm
It's okay.
a lead build TD at DNEG. I guess primarily focusing on modeling and texturing, and then I guess if I go one step deeper, primarily focusing on organic work.
Yeah.
But still familiar with the hard surface and environments and props.
Yeah.
Done it all at DNEG, I think.
And John also, he's an instructor at a think tank as well. By the way,
Oh yeah,
John.
yeah. I just finished teaching actually
Sick.
at think tank.
So how many students do you have like at the moment? Like, how does it work?
For me, I'm a mentor there. So this semester, I'm a global mentor. So that means that you're kind of just there for anyone. So they just have the
Oh,
students
cool.
there that are going through their mentorship program, trying to finish their demo reels, and they'll just pop into the calls, ask you questions, and then you go through specific questions or issues that they're having, and then you try to address it, give them advice. I'll typically talk about like during the mentorship what to do, and or some students might approach me asking about how to prepare for their mentorship, like
Yeah.
before it starts, or some of them have just finished and what to do then, like talk about interviews, negotiations,
Oh
studio
yeah, that's
life,
fun. What's
talk about stuff like that. Yeah,
I'm curious what your advice is for students for interviews.
I think I keep it pretty simple and broad. It's just like trying to. My biggest point is you should go into an interview and you shouldn't have to explain your work. You shouldn't have to defend your decision. So as long as your demo reel kind of shows that you understand what you're doing and how you're doing it, and this is an example, and that's what they bring up. It's kind of like the best situation you're in, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have them ask like, "Why did you make that decision? I see that you did this here and that. Why would you do that?" You don't want to be like, "Oh well, you see, there was this one day where," and you don't want to like go off onto this random tangent talking about your demo reel.
Yeah, fair enough.
But be honest, I think, like your realistic timelines when they ask you like how long you spent on this and that. That's important.
Yeah.
Um, but I think, yeah, trying to sell yourself, but act like a business. Don't act like I am an artist trying to break into the industry. I
Yeah, for
love
sure.
movies and stuff like that. I'd be like,
Because no one cares.
I can be a great asset to you, and here's an example, and here's some reasons why, kind of thing.
Like that's one thing I have noticed. Like students will want to work at ILM, for example, and they'll include Star Wars work, and they'll talk about how passionate they are about Star Wars, but they don't
Yeah,
care. Like no one, it's just another product. Like being passionate about Star Wars isn't going to give you an edge over someone that can do the
exactly.
work as well. So it's
I
that's
want to know how you'll be if we give
we
you a project that you hate.
yeah. How will you
Like we
be if
give
you
you some
don't get
Bob the
Star Wars?
Builder, like how well can you handle that if you don't like it, Some My Little Pony stuff, like how are you gonna handle that?
Exactly, because like the chance you going to ILM and working on Star Wars is not high, because studios are doing multiple projects at once. How are you gonna go with if you don't get Star Wars? Like
Yeah,
that's the same thing. Like you're super down and stuff like that. You're not gonna be a valuable asset to your team, sort of thing.
yeah, exactly. You should be going into it with the mindset of like, I can be the best asset to your team no matter the project.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
here's some proof of my versatility. Here are my credentials. Here are some references. But that's how you should go into it. Again, it's like just treat yourself like a business.
Yeah.
Treat yourself as like an individual that should stand out and you know
That's the thing, right? Because yeah, it's a business. It's not. We're not. I mean, I don't know if people like me saying this, but we're not really artists.
Yeah,
At
I
work,
always say that.
At work, we're not artists. Like I feel like more of an artist at home, but like at work, it's production. Like it's a job.
Yeah, I'm a contractor. I am contracted to provide this.
Yeah, exactly. Someone says, how do you make yourself sound professional and don't come off as defending your work. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the restroom really quickly, but do you mind answering
Yeah,
that?
I can take it.
So,
Sound professional does not come off as defending your work. I think like just be honest, keep it short, simple, and sweet. Usually, if you start to just ramble on, I think people can kind of just figure out. But just be honest. Like I feel like it's not just be straight to the point because that's what they're after, right? You don't want to talk about like these little intricacies of how you made this asset. Like it should just be very clear how you produce the asset that you're showing in your demo reel. You shouldn't have to talk like this giant paragraph of the feeling and how you came up with it and stuff like that. Unless they ask, I guess. But to me, at least, it should be like, here's examples of my work. I can provide a wide range of different types of work. Here's the software that I know. Here's some references. Here's some past work, and yeah, it should be pretty much that simple in my opinion.
yo, alright, I'm back. What were you saying?
Basically, just keep it brief, short, simple, and sweet. Don't
Yeah.
talk too much, or else it comes off kind of weird.
I usually, I mean, I feel this is kind of different for me because I've been in the industry for a while now. But like for me, when I go to interviews, I treat it as me interviewing them. I don't know how well that transfers to a student, but when you have industry experience, that's usually the method I use.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
It's more like, why should I come work for your company? I feel that kind of gives me like a level of confidence as well. But then again, that confidence comes from being in the industry, so it might be different for students.
Yeah.
Because also, like, they want you to seem interested. I mean, of course, like if they're like, "Do you have any questions?" and you're like, "Nope," then they're not gonna like treat you like as seriously. But if you start asking about like one of the first things I ask about is like things like outsourcing. How much of your work is outsourced? How big are your teams? Like, what is your plan for the future of like growing the team and stuff like that?
Yeah, those are great questions. I tend to tell students to ask like do your research, like find out what renderers that they've been using lately on their shows and ask about that. Ask about their pipeline. But like those questions that you asked, like those are great ones too.
Yeah, totally. How can anyone ask a recruiter weeks after the interview if there are any news, even if leads you? Wait, what? Are you saying how can you contact the interviewer after if you don't hear anything? You can always just send them a touch base email. I do that quite often. If you don't hear from a recruiter for 2 weeks, I usually just send hey, just touching base with how things are going. Stuff like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's professional, yeah.
Oh, we had a pretty good question about this actually last stream. How do you feel about this? So someone asked about what sorry, what did I just do then? Oh, someone had a question about reaching out to professionals for like mentorship and like, well, they said friendship as well, but let's just stick more with mentorship. How do you feel about like reaching out for students reaching out to professionals? How do you feel about that?
Reaching out to professionals or reaching out to me?
Professionals in general. They're not. Yeah, I don't mean reaching to you specifically. I'm saying in general. Like, how do you feel about students in general just reaching out to professionals for like feedback?
I think, I guess we were. I think some of us were there at some point. I've done it too. I remember when I was a junior, I didn't have a job yet, and I reached out to some professionals, and I got some good feedback, and some I didn't. Some were pretty mean, some were pretty nice. But the way that I started the industry, I started off as a runner, as an assistant, and I think because of that, and because of the way I reached out to the working professionals that I was working with and running coffee for, and assisting them, grabbing them a beer or something like that.
Yeah.
That helped me get my first job at that same studio.
Yeah, for sure.
So in my situation, that helped me because it built connections, and having healthy connections are just as important as having good work, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess it is pretty different if you're physically in the room with the people. Like, it's much easier to ask for.
Yeah.
But it's it's completely different when it comes to like messaging someone online that doesn't know you. But
If it's online, I guess that's yeah. I guess sometimes it's easier to be rude, I guess.
yeah, I don't know. For
So
me,
it's a bit weird, I guess.
yeah, that's the thing, right? So that's kind of the the takeaway I kind of got from, well, this was my opinion on it, I guess. I thought it was okay to reach out to professionals, but you have to completely understand that they have their own life and they don't owe you a single thing, which I feel a lot of students don't realize that or don't consider that if they reach out to a professional, that person doesn't actually owe them their time.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've noticed a lot of students in general have become pretty entitled. And it sounds kind of bad, but I've noticed that from a lot of students.
Hmm.
They think just because they have access to you that you owe them something. And I think that's a dangerous position to come from. But
That's true.
I don't think it's a bad idea to reach out. But if they just don't respond, you have to respect that. And that's just how
Yeah.
it is. Because
Yeah.
I've had people like be aggressive to me because I didn't respond fast enough to them.
Yeah, totally. And I guess you have a name too, so
Yeah.
it becomes even harder.
Oh yeah, for sure. I get messaged constantly. And I don't have the mental energy to deal with all of it.
Yeah, this is why I just lurk from the shadows.
Fair enough. You just lurk into the stream and appear every now
Yeah.
and then.
Yeah.
Someone says, would you rather get a runner position at a high level studio or a junior position at a lower level?
I think it can work either way.
Yeah, for sure.
Either way, you're in it to get some experience, meet some people, pick their brains. I I I think the edge to me would be junior position at a lower level TV studio.
Yep.
But or I think because that you'll have an easier chance, um, because it'll be a smaller company. They'll keep you around. You know them better than anyone that's new, so you might have that edge. A runner at a higher level studio, you might
I'll
just
leave
end
the
up
runner.
staying as a runner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
nowadays.
Yeah.
But before, like I don't know, 5 6 years ago, I would probably say the runner at a higher level studio.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Now it's a bit different, I think.
One thing that also is kind of interesting is I know depending on the studio, they might treat TV experience differently. Like I've heard some studios like if you have TV experience or animation experience, they might not count that as like actual experience at a film studio, which I think I don't like that idea of thinking, but it is something to consider as well.
I've had some reports from students that initially made demos for like games, and they tried to go into film, and like one of the first things that they said was, "Oh, this is like for a game engine.
Yeah.
Like how can I trust that you can handle a film pipeline?"
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm most of the time they probably can nowadays, especially with that
Yep.
line being blurred a bit. But it's just something that you have to argue and something that you have to get past the recruiter in order to. And that part's a bit annoying, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because if I see a game if I see game studio assets, I'm like, oh, so I know you can actually make like a decent model. I mean, not
Yeah,
decent
and
model, but
that's
fulfill
fair.
money. Yeah.
Like if you're the employer and you're providing the money, like
Yeah.
of course like you need to be careful, right? So they're protecting their interest, right, by
Yeah.
asking you that question. So you want to set yourself up in a way. So like I wouldn't if I had a game demo reel and I'm applying to a film studio, I'd probably want to tailor it a bit differently,
Yeah.
render it in a proper ray tracer rather than a real-time game engine,
Yeah.
and see how I can upres some stuff, and then that will show that I'm much more interested rather than being like, yeah, it's just my school demo reel that I've applied to other game studios and I just wanted to try this. I just wanted to try your studio,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's just like, well, it doesn't sound like you want to put in that extra effort,
Get into
because
it.
if you're not putting in that extra effort, someone is,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that someone is getting the attention. That's the thing.
On that topic, someone Channable says, what's your observation on what students lack in general these days?
Oh, I think where do I start? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What students lack in general these days? I think students nowadays are actually really good.
Yep.
I think um the students now versus the students like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like that's completely night and day for sure. Like
Yeah,
students now will know more than some seniors that I know,
yeah, for
you
sure.
know? The but it's kind of like I feel like some students are it's hard to say. Some students can be a bit too cocky in terms of like what they want to shoot for. Like some are like, I want to go to a film studio right away
Yeah.
because that's where I want to work.
Well, I
But
like,
there's nothing wrong with going to like a lower level studio, quote unquote lower level studio or a TV studio or an up and coming. There's nothing wrong with that to start and then move your way up. Like
yeah,
you'll get there eventually, but don't think like I only want to shoot for ILM because it's
I deserve
ILM
it.
and that's where I want to work, you know?
I
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I have kind of noticed in general. I know it sounds kind of bad, is like kind of like a level of entitlement, which is kind of
Yeah,
like
I
that's
just don't
something.
like I hate that attitude. I
Yeah,
hate it.
like I went to this school, so I deserve the job, sort of thing. Or like
Yeah.
they expect just to be given the job.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I did notice with like a lot of like some people contacting me, is they do kind of seem that way, like give me the job, I deserve it, sort of thing. But there is
Yeah.
also some amazing students, like Andrew has stuff in his demo reel I can't do. like
Hmm.
like I don't know how to use Marvelous, but he's made a
Hmm.
super badass robot. So yeah,
Yeah.
students are getting scary these days.
It's usually the quiet ones, the very quiet, timid ones,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like the badass CG artists, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The ones that aren't making lots of noise,
Yeah,
screaming
yeah.
about how great they are.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know, yeah, in general, like what I did to get in the industry won't hold up. Do you feel that same way for you as well?
What I did to get in.
Like your folio?
Oh yeah, I think it's different because think about I always use this logic. Think about the amount of artists that have graduated in the past 5 years
Yeah.
that are now trying to fight for that same job that you might be in. You
Yeah,
know,
I know,
it's
right?
it's more demanding now. It's harder now because the pool is larger. The demands are higher.
Yeah.
So the call for expanding your skills and the degree of quality is just higher. It just gets higher.
Yeah.
You know. So however, if you're a student now, like you should be thinking like what is my edge,
Yeah.
right? Is my focus like my laser focus on this one department enough, or do I need to branch out and add some more skills to my arsenal, kind of thing? Or
Yeah.
like you have to be real with yourself, you know, compare yourself to other reels and see can like does this actually hold up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've seen, you know, people talk about things like you shouldn't compare yourself to others and stuff like that, but I think you totally should. like
No, you have
to a
to.
degree, you
How do
have
you
to.
grow? How do
Yeah,
you grow?
exactly.
You know?
Because yeah, that's the thing. We're not creating art. You're trying to get an edge on the product, on the market, and you
Hmm.
can't get an edge on the market if you don't look at the
Yeah,
market.
yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, like I've seen people talk about, you know, you shouldn't look at ArtStation and stuff like that, but I think you totally should. To a degree, like don't get yourself depressed, but it's it's good to see where the level is so you can aim for it.
I do think that like on our station, it's a bit
It's a bit skewed,
like
I
it can
think.
be, yeah, it's very flashy.
Yeah,
So because I've met some people that have like very large
that
extensive
follows.
portfolios on our station, but in production, it's like they're a completely different person
Yeah,
and might not be the ideal. Just like the opposite, where I've met some people that are amazing artists that just don't have any online following,
yeah,
and then you
exactly.
question, it's like, how did that happen?
Yeah, for sure. That's also another interesting thing. Like people kind of think like, oh, I have like, I don't know, 15,000 followers on ArtStation, I deserve a job. But just because you have lots of followers on ArtStation doesn't necessarily mean you can transition into the industry that well. Like I've
Yeah,
heard of people that were hired on like amazing sculpts, for example, and then they
yeah,
just can't do topology, and
yeah.
or they're difficult to work with because they've built that ego of being online, like big online first, before getting in the
Exactly.
industry.
Exactly. This is why connections and recommendations like, are really important.
Yeah,
And it's not just the work.
yeah, for sure.
I think nowadays because the pool is larger and the degree of quality, it goes higher and higher. I would think that studios would opt for recommendations more so than the pool of artists that the recruiters find,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
it's like you're a trusted source, right? Why
Yeah,
would you not trust someone that's on your team or that's been with you for 5 years or something like that,
yeah.
right? Of course, you would want to trust that person.
That's also another thing for people to kind of think about is like there's usually like a hierarchy of how they go to hire. Like usually the first thing they'll do is they'll either contact people that used to work in the company or they'll ask people that currently work there who they recommend. And
Yeah, yeah.
before they even look online, it's based on connections to that studio already.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people think like, oh, some great studio will just come across my folio and pick me up. It doesn't usually work that way.
Or I hate it when people are like, "Oh, this guy I knew got chosen, but he's not good, or
Yeah, I've
I'm
had that happen.
better." And it's just like, but you have no idea the situation, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I hate that.
Oh man, I had a really messed up time on my stream actually. Someone posted 3 portfolios and told me to pick which I thought was the better one, and I picked one of them. And the guy in the chat said, "Yeah, that's mine," but the other two got jobs. And I was like, "Oh, I felt bad for being, I got really pissed off for being put in that situation where he just didn't tell me it was his folio to begin with." And then he was asked me why to explain why he didn't get the job, and I'm like, I have no
Got
idea.
baited.
I know, I was super pissed when he did that, but it's like we have no idea. Like they could have just simply known people that worked at the studio. Like
Yeah,
that
you
could just
can't.
it has nothing to do. Like that's also another thing that people have to consider is just because you don't get picked doesn't mean your folio is bad.
Yes.
There's many things that are to do like to do with this thing.
Yeah. I've had students come up to me before and like express their feelings in that same circumstance. And I'm just like, just don't worry. It's like
Yeah.
forget about it. It's a waste of your time and your tears. What a waste.
I mean, like if they want like feedback on like, oh, how can I make this better? That's something different. But it's when it's people blatantly just complaining, why did they get the job and I didn't? It's like you just don't know. Like it could even be the simplest thing of this person was willing to take less money than I cost, like stuff
Yeah,
like
and
that.
you won't know that.
Yeah,
You'll never
exactly.
know that.
Yeah, for sure.
The guy took it for $1 an hour. Of course, we're gonna choose him.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. That's also
you'll,
a thing.
but you'll never know. You won't have that information.
Yeah.
Maybe he had an actual better like interview.
Hmm.
What if he went to the interview and his dad was the interviewer, and then he got the job? Of course.
Yeah, I know.
You'll never know.
It could even be something simple as like, oh, we didn't need a visa for him, and that's it.
Exactly.
That's all it
That
came
can
down to.
be. That's very common actually.
Yeah.
And then some people get upset. I'm like, well, come on.
Yeah. Like what was wrong with? Yeah, people ask like, why didn't my work get picked? And it's like, well, they don't need to pay for a visa for this junior. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. That's the conversation kind
Yeah.
of over.
That's why I always say it comes down to your work, your connections, timing,
And
and
luck.
luck. Work
Oh,
is
luck
only
is everything.
one. Yeah, you never know. Like you, oh man, that's why I always get so mad when someone's like, "My work is better." It's like, but that's only one small aspect of the whole process.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it than just your work.
That's the thing. Like when I got picked up at NPC, like it wasn't because my work was the best they could find. It's just because I happened to be in the studio as a runner when they desperately needed someone, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's how I got in. It wasn't because they thought I was the best they'd ever come across or something like that.
Mhm.
It was luck. Luck is a big part of it. Let's be real.
Yeah, I think that's kind of actually how I kind of started too. Like when I was a runner, like I heard that there was an opening for a junior modeler.
Yeah.
And then I was just like running around the studio trying to find out who I can talk to. And then the CG supervisor of the show is like, yeah, like, why don't we just sit down and just have a chat? And I was like so nervous and stuff. And I showed him my stuff. And he's like, you've been here this entire time? I was like, yeah. And he's like, sure, we'll give you a shot. And I was like,
Sick.
okay.
How long were you a runner for, man?
I think it was, I think 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, it was 3 months for me as well.
But I wouldn't take it back like for anything. Like it was a good experience because I met so many good people
Yeah.
and they gave me so much advice and I've learned so much, like staying late after work and talking to people or checking out the pipeline, looking at assets and how they made it and stuff like
Yeah.
that was all super valuable to me.
Yeah, for sure. And also one of the main things is I learned to respect the runners. Because
Oh yeah, for
there's
sure.
so many artists that don't respect the runners, and it
I
drives me nuts.
know. I hate when they leave plates of food just like on the counter. I'm like, come
Oh
on,
man,
you barbarians.
it was even worse, man. For me, right? It was like, so at NPC as a runner, you have to do a mug run from their desk, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to their desk and you pick up their mugs from the desk. Usually, most people were kind of pretty chill about it. There was one time I specifically went to some guy's desk, and he had his breakfast left over, his lunch left over, and 6 coffee mugs on his table.
God.
And I intentionally just walked past him and picked up the next guy's mug and just kept going. And then
Yeah.
I saw him later in the kitchen taking his shit back. So he got the
Yeah.
message. I was like, I'm not
I
gonna.
would have brought my own coffee mug and added to his desk. That's
I
what I
know.
would
I
have done.
was shocked. But after that, I never left stuff on my desk. I was like, because yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want people to clean up for you. So
Yeah,
it definitely humbled me starting as a
for
runner,
sure.
I think.
For sure.
And it also meant like when I did get hired as a modeler, because it made me feel like I'd earned it. Is that kind of like when I got hired as the modeler, it was like, oh, I earned this. So I feel I was a lot more humble than kind of just walking into the studio as a modeler,
Yeah.
if that makes kind of sense.
Yeah.
But it also made me terrified of because when I first started off, I was a runner being borrowed by the modeling department. so so I was
That's cool.
afraid
That's
of
the
going
best
back.
situation you want to be in, you know?
Yeah,
That's the best situation you want to be in, right? Where you're that quick and easily accessible to them
yeah,
that you're
sure.
making a name for yourself. And then it's like, oh, it's like that guy, isn't he a runner? It's like, oh, he's actually making some assets right now. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
Like
for
that's
sure.
already getting the conversation going, and then
Yeah,
that just further helps you, you
yeah, for
know.
sure.
So again, it's like you're building connections, you're building that relationship, there, you're building that rapport, you know.
It's funny, right? Because this is funny. So I had a rule when I was a runner, right? I had a rule that I had to be the last modeler in the room every single night. So so like I would do my running shift and then just sit on a spare computer doing personal work, right? So
Hmm.
I had a rule that I always had to be the last person in the room, and sometimes I would be there like pretty late. I mean, it was my own choice. I was there on my own free time doing my own personal work, so it wasn't end of the world. But eventually, like the team started to be like, "Who the fuck is this guy just sitting in our
Hmm.
room?" And then eventually, like they just started talking to me,
Yeah, like
and then
that's how you grinded through that, you know. Like I think about like what if you didn't do that?
yeah,
Like
exactly, it
where
would be
would you
different.
be?
Because that's the
Like, do
thing.
you think you'd be here, you know?
Man, I remember this is a pretty funny story. I don't think I've ever told anyone this story, right? So what got me talking to the asset department in doing like actually being a modeler, right? Was they were doing Guardians of the Galaxy, and the my boss when I was a runner was like, "Oh, the asset department needs a runner to go do something." I immediately shot my hand up. I was like, "I'll do it." So I went down to the head of modeling to see what they wanted. Man, it was so fucking funny, right? So they needed references for Groot, and they just wanted some sticks. They said just go to a park somewhere and get some sticks, right? And they meant twigs, right?
Yeah.
But you know, me wanting to put in like a good impression, I fucking brought back a tree, like, 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 I brought so much shit back. It was man, it was so funny, right? So I had my backpack. I filled my entire backpack with like branches, like pretty much like logs, like so much shit. And then like I put a bin bag over the top of it, so it looked kind of like I had a cut up corpse like in my
Did you
backpack.
tape it around like your limbs and stuff? That would have been
Oh
hilarious.
man,
Oh
so
my god.
yeah, I just had this massive black bag like so then this is in London, right? So I had to take it all on the tube with me. And then like the one of the branches ended up getting caught in some woman's dress as she walked by on the tube. and, and then I bring and then I walk into MPC with this massive bag of branches, and the head of modeling just looks at it and starts laughing. And he's like, "I guess this is for Groot." And then I gave them the bag, and they were like, "Yeah, we just needed some sticks, but you brought like a tree with you."
Fuck yeah! Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man, and that's how they're like, "You want to be a modeler, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and like we should have a chat sometime. So that's how I got in.
Dude, determination.
Oh, it was so funny, right? Because yeah, they just wanted some sticks, but I brought like a tree with me, and I
Yo.
assumed they liked that. Like, fuck, this guy went all out.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
It was so funny. So yeah, that's how I got in. Oh
Under
god.
promise, over deliver.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'll,
That's
I'll bring you. I'll bring you a stick. BRB.
yeah, I know, right? I went to some. I would have looked really fucking random to other people as well, because I was just walking. You go into these parks in London, and I would just walk immediately into the bush and just disappear into the bush looking for branches. Everyone's probably like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah,
Uh, yeah,
that's
but yeah,
hilarious.
I've never really told that story.
That's awesome.
That part's always kind of skipped the how I broke in part. But yeah, that was how I kind of made an impression. I remember the head of modeling just looking at me and just started laughing
That's
because
awesome.
I just bought so much more than they intended.
That's awesome.
But yeah, then they're like, "Yeah, you want a model, right?" And I was like, "Yep." And they're like, "We should have a chat sometime." And then that was it. That's how I got in.
Imagine if they just didn't say anything. They're like, "Thanks, thanks. You
Yeah, I
can
know,
go back.
right?
Here, thanks. Here's my mugs."
Yeah, exactly. Just like spits on me as I walk past. Oh god. Someone says, "Can you suggest some game designing or 3D modeling college anywhere in the world?" Does Think Tank do game? They do, right?
They do. I don't know about game designing specifically,
Okay.
but they do have some game asset programs. Yeah.
Oh, you can read the comments as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
see.
okay,
I see.
sick. God, yeah, that was a good story. I completely forgot about that. Is
That's
there,
so funny.
yeah, Channel? Is there any other good questions that have popped up? Um, let's see. Yeah, thanks for popping on, man. This is definitely gonna help people sit through all the UVing.
Yeah, you got 100 viewers now.
I know,
It was
right?
at like
Sick.
70.
I know, right? As soon as your
Nice.
voice, people heard your voice, they flocked.
That's awesome. 100 viewers. That's pretty good.
Yeah, man, it's gone pretty good, man. We got Twitch partners, so that was cool.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. You told me that. Nice.
Someone says, any advice for when you don't know what to do to practice? I feel it's a very open question. But how would you answer something like that?
If you don't know, that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, like this sort of industry, you kind of have to want to do the work.
Yeah.
But if you have literally no idea, but you want to practice modeling, just build something from real life that's simple
Practice
around
is
you.
doing,
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, like if you want to model but you don't know what to do, just pick something around you and model it. Like say for example, you don't know if you want to work in film or games, just build something around you as like a film asset, and then maybe you can do like a game version of it.
Yeah.
And then you can see if you enjoyed the process of making a game.
Yeah.
Or
Don't
something.
think like I want to make a transformer. I
Yeah,
want to make a dragon with flames. Don't think that. Make a box, make
yeah,
a cup, and then just go from there.
like a snail, fucking snail. Uh, I told the chat since we when we hit partner, we can do the snail and ZBrush. That's gonna be fun. You know about the snail, right?
I can't wait to see this.
Oh man, it's gonna be garbage. Let's see. Um, why doesn't Autodesk have a Twitch channel? I have no idea. Um, you were mistaken by someone else when you got the interview. What do you mean by that? Like someone else thought you were someone else?
I knew a guy that got someone else's contract.
Oh, I heard that story as well. I've
And
heard.
then they saw how much they were getting paid, and then they asked, they're like, "Hey, can I get that same offer?"
I've had
this is at a different studio.
yeah, for sure. I've had interesting. I've had times where they've like I've because you get so the way it works in film, right, is very few people are staff. We usually go from contract to contract. One time I had my contract where my salary got cut in half, and I was like, "Excuse me." Why have I lost 50% of my salary? They're like,
uh,
that was a typo. We're like, oh, it better have been. So they fixed it immediately, but it's kind of like, yeah. Always read your contracts. For sure. Like
yeah,
that's one thing I'll definitely give to people. Like don't get so excited by the job offer that you sign immediately. Like read through your contract. Because if I
yeah.
had signed that, they can legally pay me half my salary. And I'd be kind of screwed.
There was a question earlier. Someone saying like, "What do you do if you haven't heard something from a recruiter, but the leads have spoken highly about you?"
Oh, we
I
can't do anything about
never
that.
trust any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I see it in print that they're interested or that there's a contract for me, I don't take any of that. It'll get your hopes up, and then you'll
Yeah,
start to
for
think
sure.
about it, and you'll get depressed when nothing happens.
I mean, even that sort of stuff happens with me now. Like I felt like I had the job in the bag. Like if like the interview went amazing, we were totally clicked with the supervisors, and then the job just doesn't come, and you just have to
Yeah,
accept that. Like it's best not to think about it until you
exactly.
have the offer,
Yeah,
until you can sign it. It's also the same thing for when it comes to working on a film in the studio. Like don't get excited about the film until you're actually on it.
yeah, exactly. Or getting this asset
Yeah,
until you
exactly.
get it. Yeah.
And
A lot of
also,
people say like, "Oh, I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on this," and then they don't get it.
don't get, this is another good advice. Don't get excited about your shots until it's in the cinema. 'Cause that's the main one. You get like, oh, I can't wait to
True.
put this shot in my demo reel. This is gonna be sick, and then
That's
it's not
true.
there. That happens a lot actually.
Yeah,
So don't get too excited about that sort of stuff. Or it's just a motion blur and you can't see anything.
yeah.
Uh, Yo, so just a heads up, chat. We have 30 more minutes left on the stream, and we'll wrap up this for today. Are you still cool with hanging around, Joe?
I think I gotta leave in about 5 minutes.
That's cool, man. You've definitely helped the chat deal with my UV. Yo, have you played Fall Guys?
I haven't, but I've watched so many videos that I need to.
Man,
You
it's
know.
so fucking fun. We if you get it on Steam, we should play.
I'll let
Cause
you know.
what happens is, yeah, after we do the streams, we do like an hour of playing Fall Guys with the chat.
Really?
Yeah, it's so much fun, man.
I
I
haven't played the game yet, but I
oh,
will destroy
you would destroy me?
you.
Nah, man. Random luck will destroy me. That game is entirely based on luck.
Yeah.
It's so fun, man. I get super tilted though. I become super toxic.
Oh, yeah. You can't record. Yeah, no recording because I'm gonna I'm gonna be screaming.
Oh, that's alright, man. But wait. Someone says any good 3D modeling book. I don't know if people use books these days.
Books. It's like
Yeah.
our time.
What's
That was
that?
when I first started. Books. There was
Books.
modeling books that I bought. Yeah, DVDs.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any. Yeah, I think that information is so easily available these days. Like
Yeah. I
you
like
like,
reading.
yeah,
Mom.
that's true.
Oh,
I mean, you can read my blogs. That's the closest thing you're gonna get, I guess. What else have we got? Man, so many people love the Fall Guys streams. Yo, yesterday on Twitch there was like 700,000 people watching Fall Guys streaming. I was like,
yeah, that game
yo,
exploded.
man, I see the studio is hiring. They're looking for 80 positions.
Yeah, I saw that same posting too.
Man, they're getting huge. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? We just leave the VFX industry and just go do Fall Guys instead. That seems like the future. Oh god, that'd be sick. Oh, I totally broke this thing. Where was this?
Okay, I think that's it for me.
Yo,
That was fun.
thanks for coming on so much, man. It definitely livens up the stream. Everyone enjoys the
Yeah.
the